Now, folks, there is an election coming off in June. That's 2 months away. 2 good months away. It's a long time. There's local council elections, and there is a referendum on patents, which I ask everyone to vote no to. So there's 3 ballot papers. But the media describe me, the Irish Freedom Party, the National Party, as right wing. They didn't yet label the Independent Ireland Party or Irish Independent Party. That's the party by Richard O'Donoghue, isn't it? You call him down there, and Michael Fitzmaurice is in it as well. Now, I didn't mention them, so we don't know what label they're going to get, but definitely there's an anti-migration, mass migration element to the Independent Ireland Independent Party and to the National Party and the Irish Freedom Party. Now, it must be understood that I went to Freedom Party seminars and things years ago, maybe as much as 7 years ago, and the National Party came on then. Maybe it was on the go, but it wasn't very well known. I went to some of their events and helped some of the members of that, and then this new party only came out. Now, had this Irish Independent Irish Party by the TDs been established in time, I might have joined it. In fact, I was persuaded recently to join it, but I gave my word on the European elections to Herman Kelly, and I won't break that. Now, Jim Reynolds has comments made there, this, that, and the other. Why they did not talk about him? Well, Kieran Malo only announced his candidature a few days ago. I didn't get doing a vote on him yet. I only found out about James Reynolds' candidates today, and it's 2 months before the election, so to blame me of not mentioning these people is not good. Now, the thing about it is we have to keep a sense of proportion about this. There'll be 3 parties running in the European election, and then there'll be the council elections. But on the European election, it will serve as a good barometer of Irish opinion. We got one look in with the referenda. Will that stick? We don't know. One of the things I preached on this channel and tried to preach is we must keep a sense of proportion about it. Pulling in votes is not a matter of how strong you are in your opinion or anything else. It's a matter of convincing the voters to vote for you. For all the 3 parties, there will be a hard core of votes there, certainly, but it won't be enough to satisfy all 3. If there was only one Conservative party, and I don't call it right-wing, I call it Conservative, I think we would probably get an MEP in each constituency. With 3 running, that splits the vote. Some people will vote down the ticket 1, 2 and 3. That means that if number 1 gets eliminated, number 2 and 3 picks up the transfers. But not everybody does that. It's not 100% effective. So for that reason, I'd rather see one good party. Even if it was not to leave the EU, I'd prefer there was one good party. But that's not how it panned out. The Freedom Party was very early on the job, and it's not how it panned out. I didn't have a party of politicians like the Independent Ireland Party. I didn't have that party up until a few months ago. Well, I don't break my word, but good luck to that party. Now, they have appointed Kieran Malo. Now, initially my reaction was, an RTE man, oh gee, oh. But you see, Kieran Malo was in the local media, local radio and local Anglo-Celt down here, some of them local Cavan papers, and he has been a long time knocking around doing journalism and all of that. And I have never completely knew him to be anti anything I'm for. In fact, he did talk about the closure of the peat burning stations and all of that, and he said tend to concentrate on that. So I have no real reason to believe he's not a good enough candidate, and that he wouldn't propose. He hasn't been checked out by the TDs already there to make sure he's all right as a candidate, and he has that bit of celebrity status. So I can't say anything about him one way or the other. I just know that Herman Kelly is dead beat against the migration, the first problem we have, and he supports me on the energy and the renewable energy thing. The National Party will have to state their case on that. But one very important point to understand about me, in the last European election, I met Luke Ming Flanagan. He gave me certain commitments that he would do when he got elected, and once he got elected, I never heard from him again. The penalty for that is that I will put him down and try and stop him getting elected again. You don't do that on me twice, and I'm twice as wary now. There's no way I'm going to back any party if they're going to get wobbly or they get into power and to be, oh, shall we talk to you sometime? That will not do me. It will not do me. Every candidate for the European Parliament now should contact me and make a deal. But in its absence, I can only guess what they want. But I have met Herman Kelly. I spent over 3 hours with him and I put him through the paces, and he has convinced me that if he gets into the European Parliament, he'll win and ask a question on the Strategic Environmental Assessment Directive and the failure of the European Union and the national governments to implement it. So I have that deal. Now, hope he keeps it. You can't go through like me in life and wait 5 years for every promise to be broken. You've got to nail it down and nail it down hard. So that's the thing about that. We can have no wobblers. Now, the other thing is that as it becomes apparent to lots of people that the established parties may be in for a good kick in the backside, you'll see every Tom, Dick and Harry moving in wanting to get elected. We've got to watch them. We've got to watch them. We've got to make sure the people that get in there are on our side and have a bit of form. And that would be one of my concerns about Kieran Malo. Has he done anything about this? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I read a bit about him there where he's on about mental health and all of this, and voices for the people and all of that. I think in the European election is nothing to do with that. It's what you do in Europe and how you call the EU to order. And this thing about being talking about people's medical conditions and all that, I'm against that. I don't want bleeding heart policies. I don't want the Freedom Party any bleeding heart policies. Oh, we'll give you extra hospitals. We'll give you this and that and the other and all of this. And then they'll give it all right, but it'll be for some fella living in Botswana. I don't want any of that nonsense. Or we're going to get you an extra, something like that. Or fix the pothole. That's not the function of the MEP. But I know the MEPs like to put it in to think it'll attract votes. It's not the function of the MEP. Where is the turf cutters? Would Luke Ming like to tell us how that's going? I know that over where the wind farm was in Cool, the turf cutting was banned and stopped. The company that was doing it closed the bog up. So what has he done about that? Has he done anything? Perhaps he'd get on to us on that. That was a big issue. He had rows of turf there cut and he was going to do something about it. I heard sweet Fanny Adam out of him since he went into there. He's out as far as I'm concerned. He get out and go and get a job, a postman or something else. That's my view. I'm hard, but we have to be hard. Our country is in a big deep hole and I will not tolerate any messing. I don't care who I'm dealing with or how senior they are. They're going to be called to order. And the right thing to do for all three parties would be appoint me as their disciplinarian, to rope them into line and as the whip. I should be the whip of the Freedom Party, the National Party and this Independent Ireland Party. And no messing. Ring them up. Either you stop that or get out. Because we could do all right. I have a funny feeling we could do all right. And of course the big thing about the European elections is that it'll set the framework for what's coming. If we get a go, it could be all right, but it'll not be as good as we think. We don't want to be too optimistic. And a lot of people in that I think are too optimistic. I'd be more pessimistic, but hopeful. You know what I mean? Like too optimistic is not good. We're not going to clean the decks, but we could cause a major stir if it works out for us right. And acting league is not going to help in that way. So, folks, we'll see you back for something else. That's my view on it. I've dealt with now the spat with Herman Kelly. Enough of that as far as I'm concerned. And now I've dealt with the three main parties. If they're middling at all, my recommendation as far as I'm concerned will be number one to the candidate I've endorsed, Herman Kelly. Number two then to the choice of the voter for the other two, for the National Party and the new Independent Ireland Party. I have plugged the National Party here already. I've never said anything bad about the National, ever said anything bad. I don't know what this is about, but I think the right thing for the National Party to do is you have a right to reply under the legislation. Make a reply there. What is this story about? What's going on? Are members of the National Party attacking Herman Kelly online over doxing? And what if they have a problem with doxing? Get on to me, and I'll soon tell them that doxing is one of the most healthy, good things to do. It's a great service to do, and I love doing it and will always do it. There's no secrets, folks. You have no secrets when you're in politics. It's a dirty game. You take it and you deal with it, and there's no one laying off who you are or coming secretly out and putting in an old pseudonym, Jack McGowan or something, and you're not that at all. Your name is John Henry Flanagan or something. No, it won't work. It's out. It's out for every single one watching this, irrespective of what party you're in. Doxing is good. Get that clear. Folks, I'll see you back for something else. Bye.